After interviewing hundreds of people, we've seen 3 stages that Muslims generally go through in their search for a spouse. Assalamu alaikum guys, I'm Zaid.
And I'm Hiba.
And we're professional matchmakers.
On this channel, we talk about everything single Muslim related.
After interviewing hundreds of people, we've seen 3 stages that Muslims generally go through in their search for a spouse. The ideal stage. This stage, which usually begins in the late teens and typically ends around the age of 22 or 23, involves a lot of dreaming and fantasizing. It also involves a lot of unrealistic expectations.
For guys, it's usually someone who looks like their favorite model and who cooks like their mom. And for girls, it's usually someone who's 6 feet tall, who has a body of an Olympian, and who drives a Lamborghini.
Also, it's marked by an unclear understanding of oneself. We ask some basic questions to all our clients. What do you envision your life to look like post-marriage? What are your expectations of a potential spouse? We'll get very blank looks or some generic answers. And they aren't able to clearly articulate their values, goals, and expectations. Needless to say, this stage is marked by inexperience and naivete. The reasonable stage. This is the stage where I had a lot of difficulty. I found a lot of girls, and even guys too in fact, get stuck at this stage. This is the post-degree / career stage, where egos often get inflated and expectations go through the roof. This is where, because people feel that they've earned a pharmaceutical degree or a medical degree, that they deserve someone who's at the same level, that it's only reasonable to have somebody at the same educational or income level as them. Some people get stuck in this stage because they define compatibility as equality. Compatibility doesn't necessarily mean that you're equal on all levels with your spouse. What it means is that you share common values and that your expectations align. An example of this is us. MashaAllah, Hiba has a master's degree in tafsir. I have a bachelor's degree in art. Yet, we didn't let that get in the way of assessing compatibility. Alhamdulillah, we had common expectations, goals, our core values aligned, and alhamdulillah, we're happily married now for about 5 years.
The realistic stage. Now, we hope you get to this stage soon and you don't get stuck in the previous stages for too long. This stage is defined by maturity and by understanding the world we live in today. Muslims in the West are a minority. For example, in Canada, we make less than 5% of the population. So the more restrictions we add, like location, ethnicity, educational level, the more difficult we make the process. It's important to understand that marriage is not a business transaction, nor a status game. If you're a woman, it's okay to marry somebody who makes less than you do, or maybe is less educated than you are. And the same applies to men. It doesn't take away from your leadership and from your role as a husband.
Remember, people are not burgers. You can't go in expecting the gluten-free bun, certain toppings, telling them to take out the lettuce or the onions. People come with their imperfections. So remember, you're never going to find somebody that checks all your boxes, but hopefully you will find somebody that you can share core values with.
Circumstances change. You could marry somebody who makes tons of money, but things happen in the future and they lose this privilege, or they could lose their career, or she could lose her beauty. But what remains is values. So if you allow your core values to guide your decisions, you'll be investing in your future, inshallah. Flexibility is the name of the game. Have a clear understanding of what you need in a spouse as opposed to what you want, and this will help you to know what you can compromise on. Be honest with yourself and try to assess which stage you're in right now, and what can you do to move to the next one. If you found any benefit or inspiration in this video, then make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.